and out of here a day at this facility alone. The main line sits another, say, mile out here to your right. Now, there's hundreds of trains that go by there every day. This gentleman's question, these cranes are all electric that we have out here. So you'll see over to your right, kind of the high voltage, they run 12.5 kilovolts. So there's an arm that reaches out and touches that conductor bar, houses the energy for the crane. And while we were up there at the office, you'll see there's 2 substations up there. One substation feeds from the east of us, and one substation to the west of us. That way, in case one fails, there's a relay in there to put the other one on. Because if we lose electricity, these trains can't run. A lot of money we're losing every minute these trains aren't lifted boxes. So, 12.5 kilovolts, does that answer your question? Yeah, it's pretty high. You don't want to get up there and touch that. I thought it was 3.
I see 3 insulators. I see.
Yeah. Yeah. So, you know, in the weather we're getting in right now in Kansas, it's getting pretty warm. That cage on the outside, nothing more than, let's say, a chain link fence. It expands and contracts quite a bit. So then, you know, we have to, when we start seeing that, we got to shut down part of it, get up there and fix it before it shorts out the rain or anything like that. We do all types of business, like I said earlier. We do trailers, which these cranes are able to basically lift up underneath the container, lift it up. The rest of the business is done by lifting the container from the top and twist lock bolts. Only about 5% of our business is trailer traffic out here. That's kind of almost like the dying part of intermodal, if you want to call it that. A lot of people are going away from that. Basically, this our lane we just went through used to go all the way down, but we've done some alterations to this facility, and you'll see there used to only be 80 spots we went through. Every spot's about a 100-foot increment. What we're doing is that we could only allow 80 truck drivers up there at a time. So what we're doing is up underneath these wide span cranes, we're doing perpendicular parking, where you saw those boxes stacked up on the ground. Making a 90-degree parking, and you'll see that down here on the other end. So now we're expanding from 80 spots that truck drivers can go to when it's all said and done, about 715 or so parking spots. So right now, if a truck driver's waiting for a R spot, which is what we call it up there where we just left from, they have to wait until we tell them they can go up there. So you may have a truck driver that sits out here and waits for an hour or 2 for that spot to open up. Now, with the increase in truck spot service, it's almost instantaneous that they get the spot in there. What other questions y'all have for me? I can keep talking. All right, the question was, what kind of training did the crane operators have to go through? Basically, started off like this. If you're a gamer, you play a lot of video games, you can do that job and learn it probably in a couple of weeks. Or if you operated heavy machinery, like backhoes and stuff like that. If you hadn't done either one of those, it'll probably take you about a month and a half. Because up in the cabin of those cranes, there's a 40-inch television monitor right in front of them, 2 20-inch television monitors by their feet. And then they got 2 joysticks, about 30 buttons, and then 3 computer screens. So some gamers, paradise up there. So it kind of varies the length of training, but mounting on and off a chassis is not that hard. Because you have video, we have 18 cameras on every crane, and those video feeds come through on those TV screens inside the cabin. I will tell you what we're altering and starting to do now. Up in the office right now, 2 of these cranes are being ran from that office we just left from. So 2 of these cranes out here do not even have an operator in them. Those those operators sitting up in that office. Becomes real important when you live in a place like Kansas City. Tornadoes don't tell you 4 hours ahead of time that they're coming, right? It takes a long time to get 8 crane operators down from 8 stories, picked up, get them to shelter. So now we're able to put them in an office-like environment. They're safer up there. It takes a little bit of training to get used to the feel of the crane and everything you do. And now we're going to, you don't have that feel of the crane or anything like that anymore. You're just kind of going off the look, everything you see.
How long does it take to cycle a container from a chassis onto the double stack?
All right, so how long it takes to cycle a container from the chassis to a double stack? With these wide spans, about 1.5 to 2 minutes. Probably is what we kind of rule of thumb. If we were doing a trailer, a TOFC, that's probably more like 4 minutes per trailer. You're scooping it up from the bottom, lifting it up, and loading it into a hitch. Yeah, but trailers need, takes another body to do it. You gotta have the ground down there telling the crane operator. So, gentleman's asking when we load a container onto a flat car without the chassis, do we lift it from the bottom with the shoes of the crane, or do we lift it from the top with the twist lock kits? We do lift it from the top with the twist lock kits. Yes. Yes. That's correct. Yeah, if we loaded the container with the chassis on the flat car, that container is locked down on all 4 corners to that chassis. Actually, me and the train master here teaching him how to be a security verifier. So part of the process is when the train gets loaded, that our service partner out here walks through and inspects both, all the twist locks on the train. And then for James here, the train master, he has to audit them once a month to make sure that they're doing things properly. Do you have a question? Do what now? All right, so I'll tell you, rule of thumb is those guys walk 8 stories up, they take their lunch with them. They don't come down for lunch. All right, they learn. But when the operator's in the cab, so they're up there for 12 hours. Now I'll tell you, there is a bathroom up there, but you're putting a bathroom in a mobile piece of machinery. How do you do that? Fun fact there, right? It's an incinerator toilet, so it incinerates the waste and turns it into ash. So it's no bigger than a Johnny on the spot you see at the fairgrounds or anything like that. But yeah, it has air conditioning in it and everything like that. But yeah, there's no microwave, there's no nothing like that, so you can't bring leftover lasagna from last night's dinner unless you're going to eat it cold. Like that, or the side loaders we saw way back there? All right, so the side loaders, the way we used to run this facility over to your right where you see all these truck drivers parked and everything, we used to ground stack containers. So we take a unit off the train, put it on the ground there, and then the side loader would actually stack it to your left there, trying to increase capacity of the facility. And we're steadily going away from those, as you can see by what we're doing with this perfectly full parking. So it just tore up the ground. We had asphalt out here where we were driving on before, and now we're putting concrete down. Learned our lesson, right? And the concrete's extremely costly when you're doing 443 inches of concrete. Yeah, so there's yard hostlers that our service partner runs out here. What the coordinators are in that building that we're in, what they do every day is they make decisions on what units we want the truck driver to bring directly from the gate, directly to the crane. So not all containers go directly to the crane. Some of them have to go to these wheel parking stalls. And at that point, we have to have a mobile hostler to be able to hostler those around when we are ready to load them. We can fuel them in other tracks. We call where you see these locomotives right here, we call these the locomotive servicing fleet. So we try to keep them here just to define any kind of spills or anything we have in one section of the yard.